Shalom, it's Levi Shore. Welcome back to Sweet Good Torah. So we're going to learn an incredible parsha today. Parsha Chukat, the mystical laws of the Torah, the mystical mitzvos. And we're going to learn it in the Ohr Gedalyah, Rabbi Gedalyah Shore, who is called the Gadol of America, the great Torah scholar of America. America didn't produce many. We have Rav Moshe Feinstein. We have the Ohr Gedalyah, Rabbi Gedalyah Shore. So it's incredible what he says here. So he says, "Bezos Chukat Torah." This is the Chukat of the Torah. This is the mystical laws of the Torah. It says, the Mefarshim, they say, "Bezos Chukas Hapara." And the Torah says that this is the laws, the mystical laws of the paraduma, the red cow. So even though al pi ma shikasavnu kavar levaer ma she'omrim Benusak l'shem yichud. And then what we wrote already to explain what was said with the language of l'shem yichud, like to this specifically, to this name specifically. So the Targag mitzvahs, the 613 mitzvahs, teluyim ba, they depend on this. The hakavana hi shekol mitzvah b'Torah yesh la inyan miyuchad. That every mitzvah of the Torah, all of the 613 mitzvahs, they all have a very special thing to them. So each one of the 613 mitzvahs, they're special. So ikar nakuda shel mitzvah, it's the essence of the point of the mitzvah. The nakuda zohi gam b'sha'ar ha-mitzvos ela shemitzvah achas miyuchedes hi le'inyan zeh bilvad. And at this point, that also the rest of the mitzvahs, that each mitzvah is special to this different subject specifically. So each mitzvah has its own subject, and that mitzvah is the essence of that subject. The hamashal lezeh, and there's a mashal, there's a parable for this. Darasha al pasuk. So we have a pasuk in Shmos in the book of Exodus. Ushamartem es ha-mitzvos, and you will guard the mitzvos. You will guard the mitzvos. So Rabbi Yishai, Rabbi Yishai or Yeshaya, he says, "Al techei kore es ha-mitzvos ella es ha-mitzvos." So don't call the mitzvos, rather only the mitzvos. So kaderek she'ein mechamitzin es ha-mitzvos. Don't let the mitzvahs, don't let them sit around and leaven or sour. In this case, it means sour. Kach ein mechamitzin es ha-mitzvos. And we don't let the mitzvahs sit around and sour. Oh, I'm sorry. It's comparing mitzvahs, the mitzvot, to matzah. So it says, just as we don't let the dough sit around and leaven and sour, we don't want the mitzvot, the mitzvah, to sit around and leaven and sour. So, and it says, you can ayin sham b'Rashi. You can look in Rashi. Rashi gives a bigger explanation of this, of comparing matzah, and what you don't pass over, to the mitzvot. So, haina the ikar hanakuda shel mitzvos matzahi. So, and then we can see the main point of the mitzvos is just like matzah. Uzarizus biasiyata shelo tavo lidei chimutz. You don't want the dough to sit around. We have to make the matzah in less than 18 minutes, the whole process. So you don't want the dough to sit around to leaven, become arrogant, become soured. With Darshino and Chazal, they make a drush. Darshino sheyesh inyan shel zerizus miasiyas kol ha-mitzvos. And all the mitzvahs should be done with energy, with enthusiasm. We want to do the mitzvahs. Mitzvah comes in our hands, we want to do it right away. Just like the matzah, we got to cook. We gotta knead the dough and bake it really quick so it doesn't leaven. And we also want to have the same enthusiasm and energy when we do the mitzvahs. We want to do it right away. So mitzvah habo liyadecha al techamitz. So when the mitzvah comes in your hand, don't let it leaven, don't let it sour. V'chein, so le'inyan mitzvos paraduma shechok. Now the mitzvah, the paraduma, the mitzvah, the red cow that we see in this parsha, it's one of the chukim, it's one of the mystical laws. We have the mishpatim, which are more like laws we understand. They're more like civil laws, where like don't steal, don't commit adultery, don't rob, don't kill. We understand this. Honor your mother and your father. These are the laws that we can see logically. It's for the functioning society. But the mystical laws, like the paraduma, they're the chukim. Ulamaila hasagas ha'adam ukamo shamar shilama hamelech kishabikesh liglos hatam shal paraduma. So Shlomo HaMelech. So these mitzvahs, they're harder for us to understand. So Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, who was one of the smartest men that ever lived, he wanted to know, he wanted to reveal what's the reason behind the mitzvah, the paraduma. So we don't always know. Sometimes the Torah gives us different reasons why, the mitzvahs. But mainly the mitzvahs are there because Hashem, this infinite being that created everyone, that loves everyone, he gave us these mitzvos to direct us to live a better life. They are the blueprint for creation, and he gave us these mitzvahs. So we don't always know the reason. The reason is Hashem commanded us, and we have emunah in Hashem that these mitzvahs are good for us. So Shlomo HaMelech, King Solomon, he wanted to know the reason behind the mitzvah of the paraduma, the red cow. So Marti Achacham V'hi Rechoka Mimeni. So he was one of the wisest men that ever lived, but he says the reason behind this mitzvah, it's foreign to me. And he says this in Koheles, in the book of Ecclesiastes. So the Ohr Gedalyah in his parish on Moedim, on the holidays, he explains that the para Shavuhi Hanakuda Shel HaMitzvah Shechoki, that the essence of this is the essence of all chukim, that the mitzvah itself of the red cow is the essence of all chukim, all these mystical laws. But Nakuda Zom, Yesh Gam, B'Kol, I apologize, it's a little hard for me to read it. The Kol HaMitzvos She'ah Shenamar Bahem. So Taimim Umavinim Es Ha'inyan, that the reasons and the understanding of the subject matter of the mitzvah, Makom Makom Yesh B'Kol Mitzvah Tam Shehu L'mayla Min Hasaga, that the real reason is the das, the Chakma Elyon, the great infinite wisdom of Hashem, and it's really beyond our understanding to fully grasp any mitzvah, and especially the chukim. Bechina shel chok, and especially in the aspect of a chok, which is one of the mystical laws. U'lachein mitamim alashin zos chukat Torah, and that's why the Torah uses this lashon of this is a chukas of the Torah. This is a mystical law of the Torah. Hainu zos ha-mitzvah shel parahi chukat Torah, and this is the chukat. This is it's the most mystical of all the laws of the Torah. Hachak ha-miyuchad shel kol Torah, and this is the essence of the mystical law of the Torah, the mitzvah, the paraduma, the red cow. Shekol sha'ara Torah teloiba, and all the rest of the Torah depends on it. Shegam b'sha'ara mitzvos yesh b'china zo shel para, and all the mitzvahs of the Torah have an aspect of the mitzvah paraduma. Incredible. So b'china shel chok shehi l'mayla mehasagas u'tefisas adam, and the aspect of a chok, of a mystical law, is that it's beyond the understanding and the grasp of a person. So we say in the Midrash in Bamidbar Rabbah, Al Kol Devar Devar, in every aspect here, in every subject, Shahayomer Kadosh Baruch Hu, and the Holy One says, LaMoshe, to Moses, Amor Lo, he says to him, Tumaso Utaharaso. Now there's these two different spiritual energies. There's the negative spiritual energy, Tuma, which Chas v'Shalom, when someone does an Avera, it brings this negative spiritual energy into them and into the world. Or Tahara. And Tahara, Tahoros, is the Kedusha. It's the holiness, and this is even a pure spiritual energy that comes into a person and comes into the world when we do a mitzvah. So Kevan Sheyagia LePerish Emor, and we see this in Parsha Emor, Ve'im Nitma Zeh B'Meis Bama Yihiyah Taharaso, that if someone tames himself, if someone gets this negative spiritual energies, Tuma, into him when he has contact with a mace, with someone that's passed away, someone's nifter, then what will be his taharaso? How will he matahir himself? How will he regain his state of this pure spiritual energy and a connection, a direct connection with Hashem, a direct connection with the infinite being. Below Hisivu HaKadosh Baruch Hu. And he will not be able to return to the Kadosh Baruch Hu. So, Ba'osa Sha'a Nis Karkamo Panav Shel Moshe. And I think this word, it means like, he got, like, his face lit up, he got excited. I mean, I think it means dance. It also means, I think, the saffron flower, the karkom. So I translate it as like lit up, his face got excited. Moses got excited. So Kevan Shegia the Parsha Paraduma. When he came to Parsha Paraduma, to Haraso, this mystical mitzvah of the red cow, it teaches us how to regain that pure spiritual state, that state of Kedusha, that state of holiness, and that pure spiritual energy from Hashem. So Kol Lashon HaMidrash, and this is the language of the Midrash. So Yesh Leva'er, She'elas Moshe Rabbeinu. So Moshe asked a question. There is to explain the question of Moshe. Shetumas Meis, Shona Mikol Shar Tumos, and the Tuma, the negative spiritual energy of having contact with a dead body, that is different from the rest of the different Tumas listed in the Torah. Shekulan Ein Shum Isser. The rest of them do not have this prohibition. Afilu lekohen lehi tamei behen. So only the tamei, the mace, the kohen, the priest in the Beis Hamikdash in the temple, were specifically, there's a mitzvah for them not to interact with a dead body. And only like 7 cases of their close relatives that they can be involved with Levaya. They can be involved with the funeral. So Sharak Achar Chalos Hatuma Al Adam. So after this tuma falls into a person, Yesh Hilkos Shonas. There's different halakas of what we can do. Masha Ein Kain, but Tumas Mace. Nevertheless, with the tuma of mace, of a dead body, Sheyesh Lav Al HaKohanim Lenefesh Lo Yitma. But the rest of these tuma, it doesn't say for the Kohanim that to the soul you cannot matame your soul. Only with dealing with a mace. As Hara LeKohen Shelo Yitame Al Gav LeMace. That a Kohen should not matame himself through interaction with a mace. Mizeh Having Moshe Rabbeinu Es Chomer Hatuma. So why is this tuma, why is this kind of tuma more stringent than everything else? V'sha'al bama yihiyeh taharaso. And then he asked, in this case of this stringent tuma of the mace, how can a person become tahor? And then in Parsha Para, it explains what to do after that. If a person has this tuma mace, the paraduma, so the ashes of the paraduma are put in this mayim chayim, this natural spring water, and then a person sprinkled on the 3rd and the 7th day, and I think he toivels himself, and then he can become tahor again on the 8th day, I think. So HaKadosh Baruch Hu lo hesivu ad shehigia the Parsha Para. But until the Kadosh Baruch Hu gave Moshe the Parsha, our Parsha Para and Chukas, he didn't know what to do. He seemed like there was no remedy to this negative spiritual energy. Ukamash Gasav the Midrash, like it's written in the Midrash. So also the Ramban, he says at the beginning of the Parsha that he writes the Yesod of Tumas Mace. The Rambam, he writes an explanation of Tumas Mace. And he says, Me'atav Shel Nachash. This is because of what came into the world through the Yetzirah, for the Nachash, through the serpent in Gan Eden, in the Garden of Eden. So Haina Mechata Shel Adam Arishon, when Adam Arishon did the Chet, and he ate from the Eitz Das Torah, when he ate from the tree of knowledge, Ki Bechatu Gezor Misa B'Olam. Then death was decreed in the world. When Adam and Chava, when Adam and Eve ate from the fruit of the tree of knowledge, death was then decreed in the world. Ulechein hatuma chamura kolkak. And that is therefore that this tuma is more stringent than everything else. She'inyan hatuma hu heider v'tumtum. And it's because there's a lack. It's a spiritual lack and a spiritual blockage. Umisa hu heder chachayos legamre. And death is the lack of chiyus, of life. And what is life? Life force is this shefa, this emanation from Hashem. It comes from the dibor of Hashem, from the words of Hashem, from the mouth of Hashem. And it gives life to all the people in the world. It gives life to all the animals, to all the plants. and this chiyus comes from Hashem. And when that blockage is blocked, when we are blocked, when we lack that life force from Hashem, that's what we call misa. That's what we call death. The yasoduhu mechata etzadas, and this is the chet. This is the sin of the tree of knowledge. Shehevi tum halev, because it blocks the heart. V'tyrovis ra v'tov le'olam, and it brings a mixture of evil and good into the world. Elechein hatuma hayotze mizeh hu avi avos atuma. It is the father of the fathers of tuma. It is the worst, most stringent kind of tuma, the worst of the negative energies. Kan bekatsarno meod. We write about it a lot. V'timsa inyan zeh mevoar hetev be'arichos b'msekta moedim. So the Ohr Gedalyah also writes about this in Moedim. Incredible stuff. So let's hear. Let me see. We go on a little further here. So ve'im tumas meis ba'a mecheder hachayos, and that this tuma, the mace, it comes from the absence of this life, of life force. Sarichim limso koach shel tahara shebo mimakor hachayos, and that we find the strength of tahara is coming from the source of life itself, from Hashem, from the infinite being that gives all life, and the koach, the power of tahara, of this spiritual, pure spiritual energy, is life itself. And that's why we want to be in a state of kedusha and tahara. And that's why when all of mankind eventually reaches the state of kedusha and tahara, of holiness, and this pure spiritual energy, there won't be death anymore. And we'll be back in the state of Gan Eden, in the Garden of Eden. Ulechein lo nimsa koach shel tahara ad shehigiu leparsha para. And Moshe didn't know, he didn't find the strength of this tahara until he reached the parsha, our parsha, that explains the mitzvah of paraduma. Shamar Kadosh Baruch Hu, and the Holy One said, he said, Zohi taharaso. This is how he regains his tahara. Ukasava Ramban, and the Ramban writes, he says, Sham shetahara zo Nechakekes min haTorah, and this is engraved from the Torah. Ulechein kasu zos chukat Torah, and this is the chukas, the mystical laws of the Torah. So we can look into the Ramban. He writes, "V'hi Torah shabal peh." And what are we talking about here? The oral Torah. Moshe was given 2 Torahs. He was given the written Torah of the Sefer Torah, the 5 books of Moshe, and then eventually all the 24 books of the Tanakh. And he was given this oral Torah where Hashem taught him, and then Moshe taught it to other people. He first repeated it once to Aaron, then he repeated it to Aaron and Yeshua, then he repeated it again to Aaron, Yeshua, and the Zakanim, the elders, and then he repeated it to Aaron, Yeshua, the Zakanim, and in front of all of the Jewish people. So Rabbeinu Bechaye, he explains these words through Kabbalah. And he says that the simple meaning of it all is that the intention that we find that the Torah has the power of chiyus, of life. Shemamad Har Sinai, when we stood in Mount Sinai, there was cherus mimalach hamavet. We had freedom from the angel of death. We see in Shemos Rabbah, the Amru Chazal. Chazal says, Rashi explains on Parsha in Sefer Shmos, Book of Exodus, in the name of the Mechilta. It's one of the halakhic Agadadas. Shenis charfu kol hamumim. And this is the cure for all these different defects. Chiyus haya b'matan Torah. And there was life at the giving of the Torah, that even the Evarim shehem hakelim hamakablin esachiyus, and even the limbs to the kalim, they received this life force. Na'asu shleimin, they were made whole. Ki achiyus hamitis, this is the true life. Ein bo shum chesron, there's no lack. Ulechein hi gam cherus miyetzer hara, and we are free from the yetzer hara, from the evil impulse. The cherus mishibud malchius, and we're free from the slavery of being bound to the other nations. And we see in the Midrash Rabbah, in Masechta Eruvin, that the chiyus, this life force, It reveals the Shekhinah. It reveals the presence of Hashem in the world. B'Shem Havaya, the holy name of Yud Hey Vav Hey, the holy name of Hashem. Shehu Mehave Umechaya Hakol, and this creates everything to exist, and it creates everything to be alive. Hashem's holy name. The Chiyuzo Haba Mimakor HaChaim, and this comes from the source of all life. Hu Heifu Katuma, and that's the opposite of Tuma. So there's two powers in the world. There's a struggle between the Sitra Kedusha, the side of holiness, against the Sitra Achra, what the Torah calls the other side, the dark side, the negative side of evil. V'hu hu hakoach shel tahara sheyesh bo letacher metumas meis. And there is power of tahara that it can even purify, it can metaher the tumas of a mace. That's this great power of the paraduma, of this mitzvah, the red cow. But koach zeh yesh paraduma, and this power is in the mitzvah, the red cow. Kihu nis nakekes min haTorah, and it's engraved in the Torah. Ki kol osher b'Torah hi melo chiyus, and this is amazing. Every letter of the Torah, every letter in the Sefer Torah, we're in Shemayim, the essence of the Torah, that black fire on the white fire. In it, every letter is filled with life. Ki lo davar reik hu mekis, I think. Sorry, makes. Because there's not a thing that's empty from it. So in the Sifri, another halakha Haggadah, V'sham B'sof Piska Rishona, the first pasuk, Ein lecha parsha she'ein bo hachiyas hamesim. I think it's saying there's no separation from the resurrection of the dead. Ela she'ein banu koach lidrosh, but we don't have the power to draw it out. Ulechein dafka beparsha zo amar HaKadosh Baruch Hu, the Holy One, blessed be He, said zo he taharaso. This is their. This will make them tahor again. It will return them to that state of that pure spiritual energy. And says you can look further. So just incredible ideas about this mitzvah of the paraduma, and just incredible knowledge here of just how, so-called light side of the force, the dark side of the force works, and just the power of the Torah. So I hope you enjoyed it, and I hope to see you back again soon on Sweet and Good Torah.